Hello, it's nice that you're here. Welcome to my little channel. Today in this video I want to talk a little bit about the orchestral tools composers competition that was on in the last few weeks, and I'm very honored to be selected for the 7th place in this. Thank you a lot for that. So, what is this about? Orchestral Tools is a company that offers a great range of orchestral but also other libraries to make music with, very high end. And in this competition, you were asked to compose a little piece for a film they provided of 1.5 minutes, only using their Berlin Free Orchestra library, which is a really great thing, how I found out while doing this. And maybe that's a quick thing how my thought process started in the beginning. I mean, I didn't know anything about the library, to be honest. I just downloaded it for this competition. And usually when you have a library and you don't know the quality, you know that the staccatos, like the short notes and pizzicato, usually work best, because that's just a recording of a single hit and there's not so much programming to do. So no matter if the library is very good or very cheap, that's the safest go-to usually. I then later found out that the other sounds there also are very good. We will see that later, but now I show you what I came up with in the beginning, a little bit accompanying rhythm with a staccato and pizzicatos. So this is what I started with, a little rhythm with short notes. And then I quickly realized that actually the long notes are also very nice. So I didn't only add the melody in the first violins, I show you that quickly in solo here. That's the main melody, and I also added a little bit, because I really like that sample a lot, the solo cello, which is here. And I think for especially a free library, this is really nice. You have really nice legatos even there. So what I put in there to add a little bit of marcato, because I mean, it's still a free library, so you don't have all the expressions you might need. I added some staccato notes, not only in the solo cello, I will show you that one, but also with the first violin and anything actually that had the melody, where I wanted some attack like marcato, so I faked this marcato a little bit with adding the staccato. I think it doesn't sound so good when solo, but in the mix it worked quite well for me at least. Let me know what you think about it. I show you everything together now. You might have heard already, I added a little bit of percussion, which is this. This is 2 different kinds of shakers. I think it's in the same instrument here. This, by the way, is the Berlin Free Orchestra. You have all the instruments from the orchestra you might want. So you got the strings, you got the woodwinds, you got the brass and percussion. As I said before, the legato in cello is really lovely. You get the legato patches, but also on the violin and I think a few others. The flute especially, also nice. Solo flute here, also with legato. I had the percussion in there, this and this, which is similar but different. And so I paint one completely to the right, one completely to the left. And this I used to have a little bit of white in the high end. Then from that I wanted to have the intro in a similar, like related to the melody, but something different. So what I did was, actually I can show you because I still have the MIDI files in here. I can show you the very first recording when I just played around to find something. This was my very first, and it's rhythmically and musically and whatever super bad, but I show you. So some wrong notes in there and stuff, but that was what I recorded in the beginning, and then I orchestrated it out to this. And here we have the lovely flute. It's a really nice legato sound, which sounds really authentic. It is supported a little bit by the marimba and vibraphone. So we have basically a little bit the bass down here, and then this answer melody thingy here in the vibraphone up here. Good. Yeah, that was actually the beginning already. I filled it up in the very beginning with a layered violin and violin tremolo. So then we have the transition from this to the, for me it was the main part with the bike ride. I can open the video maybe and play you that in case you want to hear it. What I can show you is how I did the clarinets. Here I had some like harmonic substructure, I don't know how you would call that. That supports the rhythm, and then else it stays there for 4 bars when the melody comes. And then when the main melody repeats, we go up here to the staccatos. And this, to be honest, was my little lazy part. Could have been like the lower part maybe in a bass clarinet or whatever. And I just let it in there. And now we have 2 clarinets in some place, 3 clarinets in another one. An orchestrator might complain a bit about that, but naja. Then next comes the little slow-mo part. So I wanted to use these like kind of triads versus the, is it triads? I have to check that word. Triplets. Triads is something else. Okay. So I tried to use this like triplet sound that's playing against the 4/4 rhythm to underline this slow-mo feeling. So what we got here is, I think, this melody. Not really triplets, it's this 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. I don't know what the rhythm is called. I think it has a name. And then we have 1 bar, no, 2 bars actually, of 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3/4. Some music theory words are not in English in my head. It's a Dreivierteltakt in German. I have the harp, which is here. And that plays together with the percussion. And the piccolo. And there in the piccolo we also have these little birds when the birds come. And then the, what I felt was the like action part somehow, because the editing was much faster and we had a lot of impressions at the same moment. So that's like a little bit hyped up version of the rhythm from before with a different melody. And then we came to the last part. I can show you here how I've done it. Actually, I started with this, just playing around a bit. And then at this point, I already found out that legato strings and the longer ones in general are actually quite good in this library. So I wanted to use more paddy sounds. So what we got here is the violins and cello. I think I layered the normal violins with the, I know it's different lines. Nope, then I just had the high tremolos as a tremolo. Sometimes I like to layer tremolo with normal strings because it gives it some texture, but it's not a bub 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 of a tremolo. But in this case, I apparently thought it is good to have only the tremolo. What we also have is this line. And actually I had a video already rendered out and uploaded to YouTube, and then I checked it again if everything's fine, and I didn't have this run in here, and I thought somehow there are some notes that should be in there, and then I opened the project again, put in those 4 notes, and this is how we ended up with that. I show you the whole part together now. So that was the whole piece already. You see here some more tempo mapping because I wanted to hit the moments with the logo most of all, I think, for the pizzicato stuff. And then the end. That was the piece already. I think we can maybe quickly talk about routing, but I really suck at that, so you should not listen to me if you want to learn proper things. What I used a lot was this band machine for some analog warmth on most of my summing tracks, some EQ and compression, nothing too spectacular. And I didn't use too much reverb in general, just one reverb track. So all my reverbs go there, and then I have in the end, after having it all together, 1 reverb and 2 limiters to glue it together and fill it a bit up. And here we have some parallel compression. So we have 2 buses with the 30 input. Here are some compression that I layer in. Actually, it's a bit too high, I would say, but anyway, now it's too late. And a multiband compressor. No idea what I did here. I think I used a preset, put in that red thing and played around with it until I was more or less happy with it. But as I said, I have more to learn from you about this than you can learn from me, I think. So that's the track already. I hope it helped you a little bit. If not, let me know what you would like to know. And especially tell me what I should do better, because I'm still learning a lot too. So just tell me your thoughts. And especially a big thank you to Orchestral Tools again. It was a very nice competition, very inspiring, with a lot of great entries and a really nice prize. We got the orchestra with Berkeley, a nice library. It's very nice for on the go, and because it's a bit more compact, but still with all the instruments you could need. Thank you for everything, and see you soon.